yesterday me and Matthew did one of these videos. I just feel like I had so much going on in my head that I want to try to get it all out, that I didn't really get it out the way I wanted to. So I'm gonna try and redo this, and nobody knows that I'm gonna do it. So anyway, my name's Amy. Of course, y'all know that. I am 43 years old. I am a recovering drug addict. I had an opiate drug problem for 18 years. Started out smoking heroin, tar heroin. The greatest drug at the time that I thought anybody could have invented. You know, they say pot is a gateway drug, but it's not. Pot's not a gateway drug. I didn't start out smoking pot. My opiate addiction took me down a road of pure hell. Getting high wasn't the hell part, but everything that came with it. I lost my kids. I lost me. Now, I remember when I was a little girl, I wanted to live down in Florida and be a teacher. That's what I wanted. And instead, I lived in Scott County, Tennessee, and was a drug addict. And a bad one. A very bad one. You know, yesterday me and Matthew did this, and I asked him what he thought about what he thought about when I was high, if he remembered it, because he was so young. And he looked and said he thought it was normal. And that bothered me all night long. I've always tried to be there for my kids. I've always tried to do what's right for my children. And so for one of them to honestly look at anybody and say, I thought what was going on at home was normal, kills me. That he thought that everybody's parents nodded out on the couch, or everybody's parents nodded out trying to do dishes. You know, it brings it home. And I don't know. It's something little like that, just, it's mind-boggling. You know, we've got kids everywhere, but specifically speaking of kids back home in Scott County that are watching, you know, their family, their parents go through this, and they're having to think that that's normal too. How sad is that? Let me explain something to you. A drug addict who is also a parent, it doesn't make them a bad parent. Because you're a drug addict, it doesn't make you a bad parent. It does. Being a drug addict and a parent makes you not the best parent that you can be. I like to think that I was always a good mom. My kids always had food. They always had everything that they needed, I guess, with the exception of a mom who was completely there for them emotionally. You know, and I hear people say they're drug addicts, take their kids from them. Not all drug addicts need to have their kids taken from them. The worst pain that I've ever gone through, they say childbirth is it. No, it's not. The worst pain that you can ever go through is going to bed at night and not being able to look at your kids and say, I love you, Dustin. I love you up to the moon and back. And, I love you both like a circle. No beginning, no end, and nobody can ever break it. That's the worst feeling. And to these kids that are out there experimenting or doing drugs, please stop. I don't, y'all can say, I'm not doing it bad, but it doesn't matter because it's going to get bad. You think you can control it and you can't. It breaks my heart that I have kids messaging me, or, that people are coming in and saying, hey, Amy, I heard so-and-so's doing meth now, smoking meth now. What is wrong with you kids? I mean, look, right now, I will look at you and somebody will say, how are you, Amy? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Maybe not. The choices we make will always follow us. The choices we make will always follow us. And I don't know if knowing that, I did drugs for 18 years and I lost my kids to it is going to make anybody sit and think, okay, well, I got to quit. It may not. But I'm here to tell you that drugs going down that road is going to go nowhere. But you're either going to end up in jail or you're going to lose everything you have. Everything you have. I never went to jail. Thank God. I have no criminal record as far as it comes to with drugs. None. None. But I would just as soon as have a criminal record than to ever had my kids taken from me. I mean, drugs is not anything to play with. And you all can sit here and say, well, you don't understand because, you were doing pills. Pills is different than meth or different than whatever. And it is different. It's a different drug. But that's the only difference. It's a different drug. It's a different drug. And if there's any grown-ups that have decided to watch this, or if anybody sees this that maybe knows a parent that's using drugs, if you could just show this to them. Let me explain this to you. Things go in cycles. It's like abuse. Abuse, obesity, whatever. Drug abuse goes in cycles as well. It really does. Look around you. Look around you. You have kids that grew up watching their parents do drugs, and they're going to take roads. They're either going to do it because if that's all they know, they think it's normal, or they're going to see it and they're going to think, oh my God, I can't go down the same road that my mom or my dad went down. And our kids know more than we think they do. My oldest son, Dustin, he knew what was going on. He knew what was going on. He just didn't know what to call it. He didn't have a name to put on it. The video I did yesterday, I had somebody comment on my video. And it's my niece by marriage. I don't see my I don't see my boys' cousins or this family anymore. Have no contact with them. Friends with Krista on Facebook. So, I get to keep up with her baby on Facebook through Facebook pictures. Their granny. And I'm sure that, they're going to see this. And, their ears will all perk up. Their granny is the one who took custody of my boys from me. I mean, and I was living in Florida at the time. And I was so pissed. I was so pissed. Um, if I came back up here, though, or back up to Tennessee, that I was going to jail. I had warrants on me for not having the kids in school. I was going to go to jail. But they were my kids. They weren't hers. And I thought it was backhanded, the way that she was trying to get me to get help. To take my kids from me. It's backhanded. I still think it could have been done differently. Absolutely. A whole different way. But it wasn't. It took me a couple of years to come to this conclusion. She took my kids from me. Well, she didn't take my kids from me. This is what I've come to. She didn't take my kids from me. I took my own kids away from me. Jamie Cotton had nothing to do with it. She had nothing to do with it. Nobody else in the family had anything to do with me. Losing custody of my kids. I had everything to do with it. I lost custody of my kids myself. Me. I am ever so grateful to her for doing it, though. Now I am. It's one of the things that made me open my eyes to see what I'd become. And I'm beyond grateful for it. But, and now my kids don't have anything to do with their uncles or aunts, and it's not by any other choice but theirs. So, you know, Krista, if you're watching this or if you see this, show this to your dad. Show this to your dad. And maybe he can tell your Uncle Royce. And I have to do it like this because I have no other way of doing it. David, boys. My boys kind of need their uncles right now. Especially Dustin. Dustin's going through something, and I won't get into what it is, but it would be nice if they had family. You know, I have never said that they can't be around you all, but it would be nice if, they were at least invited. All that being said, they love you, and if it's just a personal choice where you all just don't want to have them around, that's fine. That's fine. Me and my kids have got each other. We always have. We always will. So, anyway, so that is that. Um, a lot of people say, what made you start? What made you start using? I don't know what made me start using. I wish I wouldn't have. I think that my family, my side of the family is full of alcoholics and drug addicts, and I think that just, just being around people who use drugs, I think I think addiction is hereditary, and I think if you've got that gene in you, I think once you start using, and you have that gene in you, I think that you will then, be faced with a long road of using. And then I have people ask me, what made you quit? Losing my kids made me quit. I mean, part of it. That was part of it. But the big part was I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I mean, it sucks waking up knowing that, you know, you've got to hustle all day long just to get something to feel better. Um, I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I wanted my kids back. One of my kids back. And I wanted to prove to everybody that said I couldn't do it, I wanted to prove them wrong because that's who I am. You tell me I can't do something, then by God, I'm going to fucking do it. That's when I am going to do it. Um, you know, people ask me why I stay clean. Do you stay clean for your kids? No, absolutely not. My kids drive me freaking bananas. Are you kidding me? They drive me nuts. No, I joke. They do drive me nuts, but I don't stay clean for them. I don't. At all. I stay clean for me. I like the person I am better when I'm clean. And, you know, I mean, I think that we need to implement some sort of programs in school where kids who are having drug problems or having problems, period, can go and talk to somebody without the fear of being judged. Um, you know, people wonder why I had these kids Facebook me. And it's been said, you know, I've been told, Amy, just stay out of it. You know, just stop. And there are times I won't lie to y'all. There are times I'm so tired at night and I just want to go to sleep. But I've got some kid Facebooking me. And, you know, so I don't sleep good. Because I'm trying to talk to them. And then people want to know why. Just don't answer them. Just don't answer them. You got your own stuff going on. Well, you know, our kids have to have a place where they can go and talk to people and just have somebody just listen to them. Just listen to them. And I wonder if these kids that are maybe turning to drugs, they just need somebody just to listen to them. And as parents, you know, you want your kids to always be okay. And as parents, we tend to forget what it's like to be a kid. You know, we need morning doors. You know, we need to put ourselves back in our kids, you know, when we were our kids' age. You know, I hear all the time, you know, kids will come to me and they'll say my mom or my dad just, they don't understand. They don't understand. And I'm not going to say names to the kids that are telling me this because it's not, if I'm just not going to. You know, I'm cutting because I'm cutting. Well, honey, you know, and I do tell the kids, you need to go talk to your mom or you need to go talk to your dad and explain to them what's going on with you. I can't. They don't understand. They just get mad at me and they yell at me. They tell me, just stop. Just, why can't you just be normal? Just get over it. Or, you know, they're heartbroken because boyfriends are cheating on them or broke up with them or whatever. And their parents blow it off because their parents think it's puppy love. And it may be puppy love, but the emotion, love, it doesn't get stronger, it doesn't get better. You don't get better at it when you get older. Believe me, I know this to be true. I am 43. Look, people, I am 43 years old. And I have yet to find anybody that is real. One person that I've ever been with has ever been real. Real, period. That has a piece of my heart and will always have it. And that's boy's dad. But, you know, I think that if we as parents can just be a little bit more understanding, and I'm not saying, you know, your kid comes to you and says, hey, look, mom, You know, I've been depressed, I've been cutting. You don't go and get them help. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Go and get them some help. You know, I mean, we have these kids that that are being all kinds of self-destructive, all kinds of self-destructive, and turn into people that they shouldn't be turned into. And you know, I scroll down through my Facebook, and if you look at my friends list, majority of them are kids. They're my kids' friends, and my kids' friends' friends, and their friends, and I don't know who. And but I look at them, and you kids can, you know, tell me I'm okay, I'm okay. And there's been certain kids that I have messaged and said, look, I dreamt about you, or I can't get you off my mind, so are you okay? And it amazes them. Oh my God, no, Amy, I'm not. Or that's so weird because, you know, I'm doing this. And they don't understand how I know this because I can look at your pictures on Facebook and see. So, I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible. You all need to stop. I mean, and you know, I can say you kids need to just freaking stop. Stop. But that's not going to help anything. And you're right, Doris. Cutting is absolutely a cry for help. Using drugs as self-destructive behavior is a cry for help. You're absolutely right. But we stigmatize kids. I mean, you know, what kid wants to go to their parent and say, you know, I've been cutting, or look, I think I have a problem with drugs, because they think they're going to be in trouble for it. You know, that's crazy. In my head, it's crazy that a child should ever be scared to go to their parents for anything. And I say this, and let me explain this. One of my children was scared to come to me for almost a year with the problem they were having. A year. Because the problem that they were having, there's such a big stigmatism on it. And I know, you know, I put on Facebook, Dustin needs prayers. You know, and I don't ever go into it, and I get people messaging me wanting to know what's wrong with him, and I blow them off because it's a problem that I can't, it's not my place to tell people about. Let me make this real clear. My oldest son does not have a drug problem. That is not what it is. So, so let's not just jump to that. But, you know, I mean, I think that, I don't know, there's got to be something that we can do as a society, not just, like I said, not just for Scott County, but everywhere. But right now, I'm worried about, you know, the kids and the people that I know back in Scott County. I mean, there was one young man who's supposed to be going to court this morning, and he was heavy on my mind last night, and, you know, I worry about him. And it's so bad that they're talking about sending him to a prison that they send the kids to. You know, not juvenile detention, but prison for kids. That's crazy. I've known him since he was in elementary school. And it's just a cycle. You know, I mean, it's a cycle. I'm not going to put his family's business out there, but, I mean, most of the people who know me and know these people, they know it's a cycle. It's a cycle. And we have to figure out how to break that cycle. I mean, you know, we want our kids healthy and happy. And so if there was somebody that people could go and talk to and just vent, you know, sometimes that's all people want, is just a vent. And not worry about being judged or being sent off, or, you know, I mean, if your child's in desperate need of being sent off, then send them off. I would. Would I send one of my kids off to a mental hospital or to a drug rehab if I absolutely thought that that's what they needed? Yeah. Yeah, I would. I would. um, in a heartbeat because I love my kids. Um, would I be mad at them if they came to me and told me that they had a drug problem? I would love to say no. I don't think I'd be mad at them. Would I be mad at the situation? Probably. Um, but we've got to figure out something. We really do. Or we're gonna lose the youth of Scott County. And when the kids of Scott County are gone and lost to drugs, then Scott County's gone. And I don't want to see that. It breaks my heart. I don't want to see anybody go down the road I went to. I went down. I really don't. I think that we need to figure out a way to stop it, and I don't know the answer, and it bothers me because I don't know the answer. I mean, you know, people have these huge success stories after they get clean. You know, I became this, and this, and look at me now. And my story of having clean, my biggest success is my kids, is having my kids in my house, being able to hug and kiss them goodnight. And my boys are probably going to kill me because this is probably something they don't want everybody to know. But, you know, when they were little, I'd sing to them. They had songs. And Dustin's song was Sunshine. And I'd sing it to him every night before he went to bed. And, you know, Matthew's was that song, My Girl, My Girl, My Girl, My Girl. Well, I'd sing Matthew, Matthew, Matthew. I'd sing that to him every night. And every night Matthew had his blanket, and he would take the corner of it because it was silk, and he'd take the corner of it, and he'd rub my face, and he'd say, "We have good dreams now, Mommy." And my kids weren't real little when they were taken away. They were young. Matthew doesn't hardly remember it. Dustin remembers more of it. They were in, Matthew was in elementary school, and Dustin was in middle school when they were taken away. And I got them back before they went up to the next grade. But, you know, that's my biggest success, is having my kids back. And I guess my next biggest triumph, I guess, would be all these people, and I know there are people that are standing on the sidelines that are saying, watch her, this is going to be what's going to cause her to fall. Watch her, she's going to go back to drugs. And I haven't. And I won't. I mean, I did relapse. I relapsed for a couple months after I got clean. After I got my kids back, relapsed for a couple months. I went to that yesterday. You know, I was a year clean. Went down to somebody's house, and so proud of myself. I'm a year clean. Let's celebrate. Go get me a pill. And he went and got me one. And so I fell for a couple months, but I got myself back up, and I dusted myself off, and been clean since then. And that's a triumph for me. You know, I go on job interviews, and you know, people say, "What's your biggest accomplishment in life? What are you the most proud of?" And I can't tell them because you don't want to tell a prospective employer. I was a drug addict for 18 years and got clean, but that is my biggest accomplishment right now. Is that I had a drug problem for 18 years. And without the help of Suboxone, methadone, or whatever, I got clean. Didn't do it with rehab. You know, these Suboxones and these stupid pills that they have to help you with your withdrawal symptoms are amazing, I guess. But they're addictive. And so then when you get off of the opiates, what's helping you to get off of the Suboxone? And people say Suboxone's not addictive. Bullshit. I have seen people sicker off of not having a Suboxone than I have ever seen anybody be sick off of heroin or pills. So, in my reasoning, I was like, why go to something, why use something to help me get off of opiates, to get off pills, that's just going to make me addicted? Then what am I going to use to do that, to get off of the Suboxone? So I laid there for it took me 2 months to totally be clean, and walked into court. Didn't have a court date. Walked into court, sat there all day long from 8 in the morning. I think court ran till 4 or 5 that evening. And when everybody was gone, Jamie Clinton looked at me and said, what are you doing? I told him, I said, I want to get my kids back. So he called me up and he talked to me, and he was quite amazed at how coherent I was, how different I was. And, 9 months later, I got my kids back. I went to court for a final thing, and Jamie gave me custody of my kids back, full custody, no trial period, no 90-day trial period, no nothing. DCS was never involved. It was CASA that was involved to close that case. And I got to, when my kids got home from school, I went to their grannies, picked them up, and took them home. That's my greatest accomplishment, is getting my kids back, getting clean. And, my goals for the future are, opening halfway houses, helping people to get off drugs, helping people to experience a clean, sober life. We're not all perfect. We're not all perfect. And we all make mistakes. Well, my best friend, my mirror sister, Tanya, says this, and it's my most favorite saying in the whole world. It's only a mistake if you don't learn from it. So, when you do something and you fall or whatever, learn from it. So then it's not a mistake. Learn from it, and then you know not to do that anymore. Make it a lesson. I don't know. I guess this is a long rambling video, and I know many of you aren't going to watch all of it, and that's fine. That's fine. But I'm here to tell you all that you hear people say all the time, if I can do it, you can do it. Let me explain something to you. If I can get off drugs, then you all can too. And I'm here to listen to anybody at any time. If you need me, then you need to just message me. And you're right, Doris, withdrawals are hell. They are hell. And I think that's why a lot of people don't want to quit using drugs, because the withdrawals suck. The withdrawals absolutely suck. People try to explain it's like having the flu, but it's 1,000 times worse. It's horrible. Drug addiction is something that will take somebody who is, a clean person and turn them into a dirty, dirty, dirty person, because it sucks getting in the shower when you're sick. Oh my God, it hurts so bad. It hurts. And you physically and mentally, you hurt, you throw up, and all, it's nasty. I think that people need to understand that drug addiction is a disease. It's not something people choose to have. No, I didn't. That wasn't my choice. When I was little, like I said, I wanted to be a school teacher and live in Florida. And instead, I'm a 43-year-old woman with 2 kids and have blue-collar work. That's my life. But it's my life. And, people say, well, just quit using. It's willpower. No, it's not. It's not willpower. My oldest son, he doesn't believe that drug addiction is a disease. He thinks that it's something people can either stop or start on their own. And it's not that easy. I really wish it was that easy. because if it was that easy, I would have quit a long time ago. I'm telling you, I would quit a long time ago. It's something I know I can't play with. Drug addiction, drugs are something I can't play with because I'm the type of person that likes to push it. I want to see how high I can get. I want to see how much I can do before it almost kills me. And, then when I have a scary episode, I want to do it again. Because I like to push things, but that's me. But I think instead of punishing people who are having problems with drugs, I think that we need to figure out a way to help them. And we need to figure out a way to help our kids. And I'm going to end this by saying that I'm going to ask you all, just without putting names out there, just pray for the young man and his family. It's not just him that's affected. His grandpa was affected, and his little sister is affected by it too, and so is his brother. The whole family really is just affected by it. And whether people think it's something that needed to happen or not, it's not even the point anymore. That's irrelevant, and it's just nonsense. Just sit and say, well, they deserved it, or the kids didn't need to be there, or whatever. Right now that point's irrelevant. The matter of fact is this, that we have children that are being affected either by drug use, or people making it, or people using it, selling it, whatever. Children are being affected. And, please, let's just do me a favor and just pray for these people. Pray for the kids. Pray that the kids in Scott County and everywhere, but particularly my home, back where I call home. Let's pray that let's pray that the kids fall out of that cycle. I don't know. Let's just pray that they realize that what their parents are doing is not a road they want to go down, and they want better for their kids. And to you parents out there watching, young or old, I see Kayla. Oh, Kayla, I love you, Kayla. I miss you, and I know I still owe you a visit to school. I'm an hour away, but I am going to get you something this wintertime for Christmas present. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to get you something because I owe it to you. But anyway, you made me smile. I love you, Kayla. That little girl right there just makes my heart happy. Anyway, let's just pray that, the kids in Scott County break this cycle. And as I was saying, to parents, the young parents of teenage parents and old decrepit parents like me, let's listen to our kids. And seriously, listen to them. When they have a problem, don't discount it as being a teenager. Don't discount it as being, something that they should just automatically get over. Let's sit down and listen to them. Maybe that's going to help out with whatever. Maybe then they're not going to feel like they're going to have to turn to drugs. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. I know I've taken up your time, and half y'all probably ain't going to see this, but anyway. And again, Kayla, I love you. Alright. And I'm going to do more of the videos. I just got to get my thoughts in order because I ramble, Doris. But I appreciate you. Alright, love y'all. Bye.